Hi guys, welcome back to Magic Reviews. On this episode, we are going to learn this nail tech tricks and hacks. This video is going to be good for a new nail tech. If you're trying to learn what to do, the do's and the don'ts, we are going to look at this nail tech's work and then judge it together. If you're trying to polish up your skills as a nail tech, this video is also good for you. Or if you just enjoy watching nails, this is also gonna be a great video for you. We are going to learn new tricks and we are going to learn what not to do. So first things first, as I said on this nail tech seat, she did not have a sanitizer. So what you want to do first things first is to sanitize your client and sanitize your tools. So for a fact, I knew that there was no sanitizer and I was convinced that she did not sanitize the tools. This can be a problem because it can cause a fungal infection. As we go forward, she started with cutting my cuticles. Usually what I would do is I would advise that you push your client's cuticles first before you cut them, but she cut them first and then she pushed. I don't think there's a big issue with this. If you feel comfortable with cutting before pushing, then you can do so. I prefer doing it that way because it's much easier and the work is much cleaner. If you can see that tool that she's currently using, that is a great cuticle pusher. I've had the same tool for years. It is most likely to last you longer. If you see the cuticle cutter, they are two different types of cuticle cutters. She probably has been doing nails for a while, which is why she chose that tool. If you don't feel comfortable as a beginner, you can use the normal one that you might have. It's much safer for a new nail tech. So now we see her putting glue on her nail tips. So what you first have to do, if you checked what she did, she sized them. So she's checking if they fit me correctly on each side and they're not overlapping or there's not too much space between the nail tip and my nail. And then if it fits perfectly, what she does is then you apply the glue on the top. There is a bit of a space there. If you've seen a nail tip before, there is a bit of a space which applies for you to put your glue. That is a correct way of applying your glue. And then you will press down. Here, what you need to do, it is most likely that your client might have screwed fingers. It's most likely a lot of people have the same problem. You need to follow the direction of the nail bed. Whether the nail becomes screwed, it's not your business. Now we go back to we missed a we missed the part here which we might see in the next coming clip, because we did not want the video to be long, but she had to ask me how long I wanted the nail, so I chose the length and then she went on to do yes. Now what we're doing here, she's asking me the length and then I'm telling her this is the length that I want, and then what she's going to do is then cut to the desired shape. That's what you're going to ask your client: how long do you want the nails, and then you will cut to the desired length. Obviously, because she charges extra for a different shape, I decided to do a square. I like a square. I think a square looks nice. I like how it looks also on my nails. So we did a square. The reason also a square would look nice with these tips in particular is because they are C shaped and they tend to flatter all types of hands. So now she's doing the square, which is not as much work as you there's not much work that you have to do when shaping this, because it is in a square shape already. So now she's just blending. What you do, gentle blend in between where there is your nail the nail bed and the artificial nail. You need to try and blend that as much as possible without hurting the client, so you will go in a different direction each time until you are able to see that it is blended. Now this is a very important part. I tried my best to get you guys the best footage. How do you pick up a ball, your acrylic ball with monomer, and how much monomer do you use? So like I said, we are going to see the pros and the cons of this nail tag so that we are able to fix our mistakes. The issue that I have mostly with this nail tech is that her nails, they break in the middle. The reason for this is, if you can see closely, she puts her first ball near her cuticle. She does a perfect job in making sure that the acrylic does not overlap on the skin, which you need to be careful of, or else that's another way to for the nail to lift quicker. But the problem now is that she does not brush the acrylic, level the acrylic enough to reach at the end, only at the beginning. So here you will see that she's only brushing the acrylic down. She does not use a lot of acrylic, which is good. But if she can master blending the entire acrylic down, so now you can see the ball that she picked. She puts it at the top, just near the cuticle area, but you can see that she can perfectly place it. She's evening it out on both sides and then pushing it down, but you can already tell that the acrylic is not going to be enough at the end. Let us now wait and see how she can be able to even it out. Do you see how she picks that ball? It's not a big enough ball. Is she going to be able to even out? Because there's a difference between trying to cover the nail and actually making sure that the acrylic is even out. You can tell she feels satisfied. She feels satisfied with the two balls. And that is a bit dangerous because that acrylic, we both can see, you guys can also see, it is not enough, and she has moved to another hand. So the first mistake that we have already seen, or maybe the second one, because the first one is that she is most likely to give her client a fungal infection because she does not sanitize. Number two, she does not use enough acrylic. Yes, it is not good to use a lot of acrylic, but in her case, the acrylic is not enough to layer to even out at the end. She does not have enough acrylic at the end. I would advise maybe 3 balls. The second ball that she picked, we were all witness to, it was not enough. Okay, now she's making sure that everything is layered well, but if you can see, there's still not enough acrylic. Her work is neat. As far as her work, we are close enough to see the ball. She has dabbed twice to make sure that she picks enough ball. What is a perfect acrylic ball? If you ask yourself, the perfect acrylic ball is one not too thick, that there's not enough monomer on the ball, it's too dry or too wet. It just has to be in the middle, long enough to be able to pick up, to form a perfect ball, to be able to lay it down and still be able to work with it until you are satisfied, without it running on your client's fingers or it drying out too quick. She's able to pick good balls. If you're able to see, she she taps her brush on her monomer, and then she taps it just a bit so that there is no excess liquid, and then she dabs on her acrylic to form a perfect ball, which is too small. She's afraid of her acrylic. Okay, so there are two things we missed out at the beginning. So we said that first of all, you have to sanitize, and then you push, and then you cut, and then what you do is nail prep. There was not enough nail prep in the video for us to see. But what is nail prep? Nail prep is filing off, gentle filing of the client's natural oil. That is nail prep. You cannot just push cut your client's cuticle and then apply a tip. No, you have to file off the excess oil. Other people prefer to use an acetone. Other people prefer to file it off, and then other people file off the excess oil and then wipe it with acetone to make sure that there is no excess oil on the client's nails. What is excess oil? Is their natural oil, basically, because everyone produces oils in their body. And also what we missed out is if you see there's something that is white or has a white bottle next to our monomer, is primer. After she blended out my nail, the nail bed with the artificial nail, she applied primer to make sure that the product lasts and stays long without lifting. So primer is very important, guys. Do not forget. Okay, cool. Now that the acrylic has been applied, what she's doing is filing to make it even and just remove any bumps before she can apply any products. Obviously, in her case, she does not have a lot of bumps because her work is quite good in terms of applying her acrylic. But is her work strong enough? Here we watch her file, and also when you file, you are able to return the original shape that the client chose. So you're restoring it to the original shape, because acrylic can tend to change the shape of a nail. There's nothing wrong with that. If the shape changes, you can just refile after you've applied your acrylic. And you can see here, another tip to watch out for is to make sure that you do not go over your client's cuticle when you're filing at this stage. Make sure that you do not go over your client's cuticle. We can also see with the file is not the cleanest. When it comes to nails, when it comes to working with clients, it's very important to be hygienic, especially when it comes to things like nails, because you will be at fault of giving someone a fungal infection, and you do not want to do that. Word travel fast. You are going to lose clients, you're going to lose a customer. Now your name is ruined, your salon is ruined because of hygiene. Very important that you're always hygienic when you do your client's nails. Now what we're doing is more filing and more filing to get the desired shape and to make sure that there are no bumps. As soon as you're done with your filing, you're going to move on to your buffer. As you can tell, there is no sanitizer in place, but we're trying to remove any rough anything that's rough on the nail, just to make sure that it's smooth and ready for you to apply your products. We want it to be smooth all the way, so you're going to buff everywhere. This is also a correct motion to make sure that you do not hurt your nail, your client. This is how you use the motion. You do not just buff in one place until your client complains about it hurting. Again, guys, if you can see at the next to the monomer, you can see that there is a primer. So she did in fact use a primer and just no sanitizer. So now, as I was sitting there, my decision was that I was going to do a French tip, but the French would be in black, but I saw her silver and I was so in love. That's when I asked her if we can do the silver instead. Big mistake, as you guys will see when we apply that. But now she's just buffing the nails, and yeah, I love her application. She's dusting me off. It's very important that you have a duster. You cannot just continue working with dust. You can tell I'm happy with the application. You see here, guys, for once, I was quite impressed. She understood that her cover pink was not pink enough. I hate when a nail tech is going to pretend like she doesn't see. As a nail tech, you want to offer your client the best service that you can. I prefer to use a specific cover pink. This brand that she was using does not have a deep cover pink, if we can say it's deep enough to make sure that there are no traces, or it's not transparent. So what she does, she goes over the cover pink with a nude color. This is a fear of mine. The brand that she's using is not popular. It might happen that she got lucky. As a nail tech, there are times where you get lucky and you get a good product. There's a possibility that she might never come across that product again. I pray to God that her supplier supplies her for the rest of her life, because that cover pink is working for her to cover up any transparent areas that the acrylic cover pink was not able to do. When she went in with this gel, I was impressed and afraid. Impressed that she realizes that this needs to be deeper. Afraid that what if she never gets this cover pink again? This is the trick. When you realize that the cover paint that you're not using is not deep enough, what you can do is use a gel cover paint that can be able to do the work. This is a different gel cover paint. It's not a nude. If you can look closely, it's not a nude, and that's the problem. Also, you will get then that other nail techs will use a nude, and that nude will not work well on top of that acrylic. Because at first I was afraid that what if now there's a bulk of product, you've applied acrylic, now you're applying gel, what is this? Because I think she goes twice, if I'm not mistaken. But this is a trick that impressed me. I was willing to give her another chance, because I was like, maybe even if the acrylic is not thick enough to make sure that the nail does not break. Because my issue with this nail tech is that in previous times when I've went to do my nails to her, is that the nails, they break right in the middle, which ends up hurting my natural nail, and then now it's painful. And when you take it out, it has come out in the middle of your nail bed. But also, it could be that the nails were too long for her acrylic, because the previous nails that I did were a bit longer. So the reason why I chose to go shorter is maybe her skills are only good for shorter nails. But anyways, as I was saying, I'm impressed that she's using this gel, and what she's doing now is cleaning to make sure that none of that gel is on the cuticle. People, make sure that the cuticle is clean. My first job was with this lady, and she told me that as long as your work is clean, you can learn other things on the way. Make sure that your work is clean. No one wants to go around with horrible nails and tidy nails. Just make sure that the work is clean. So what she's doing now is that she's cleaning she's cleaning, and she even went to take a different brush. If you can see, that is a different brush. And now we are going to put the dry the nail, the gel inside her dirty lamp, which again has not been sanitized, but it is okay. And then here I ask her, can we do the silver rather? Can we do the silver? And she agrees, yes, this is great. We can do it. And I'm happy because from her nails, I liked it. I even asked her, will this work? Can this work? I know as a nail tech, there are things that you try on yourself and they might not be good enough to try on a client because they do not last. So I made sure to ask the important questions. Will this last long? And she said this will last long. Great. So at first she goes in with her gel liner. I am a bit confused because from her hand it looks like it's quite shiny. And as you can see, the gel liner brush is quite thin, and it looks like it's gonna take a long time to get to the desired result. As you can see, it's not as quite as shiny. Then now I'm asking her, are you sure this is not gonna take long? And she's saying yes, pretty much. So it's quite important, I think, when you deal with your clients, that you're very much open and you let them know that you are able to do something or not, because what you don't want is to end up with an unhappy client. We're at the end of the work. We were happy with the acrylic, how it was sitting. Now all we need is to make sure that the French is as good as the acrylic. So now we're just waiting for her to paint her 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 silver all over the nails, and it seems like quite the job. Ended up facing a few issues here because one hand was in the lamp and the other one she was using to draw her French, so I was not able to record the process properly for you, but I'll try my best to explain. So now you see that we've jumped here to the top coat. It means that she's done. She had to reapply one of the shades there, the silver one at the bottom. If you can see the 4 shades, she had to reapply the silver one to make it more shiny, but she had issues because it could not stick, and she ended up applying after the gel liner had dried, and then when she wiped, it all came out, and then she had to reapply, and she struggled to stay on the French line. As a nail tech, obviously this made me cringe a bit because it looked a bit untidy, and as a person who loves a good French tip, she was not able to achieve that. But obviously, for someone who's not a proper nail tech or who's not a nail tech, they're just happy to see the nails. I think if someone were to look close enough, they would realize the mistake as well. And also another issue that we incurred is that the the nude area, or the nude part rather, had a bit of glitter. So I will insert the nails at the end to see how she did. And this is her final work. I think as nail techs, we could do much better by communicating to our clients if we are unable to do a certain style. Anyways, guys, let me know what type of videos you would like for me to do next. If you'd like for me to do more videos where you can do your nails at home for people who are non-nail techs, let me know in the comment section. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Until next time, bye.